Hello and welcome back to our 13th episode. Lucky number 13. This is the Rule of Two show here on the Xiii Cinema Reviews channel. I am your host, Jared, as always, and with me is my sister.
Yeah.
Yes, we're back, and if you can't figure it out, this is a Star Wars show here on this channel. We do it every week, and we usually go over 3, sometimes 2 topics. If it's a slower day, it'll be 2 topics. But today, we've got 3 topics that I'm genuinely excited to talk about. The first topic's going to be Jon Favreau's new series, and we got some new details on that. Then we got a rumor for the Obi-Wan movie, which everybody's talking about. And then we've got the 4th issue of Thrawn, which just came out this past week. So, anything you want to say to the people?
Hello, the people.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about these 3 topics. And before we get into the thing, if you ever want to let your opinion be known about these topics, go ahead and tell us in the comment section down below. And if you don't want to tell us there, we do have a Facebook page. It is facebook.com/CCinemaReviews page. You'll find that link in the description. And we are also on Twitter at @CCinemaReviews. So that link will be in the description as well. So definitely tell us your thoughts whenever and wherever you want. With that being said, let's get into it. So the biggest thing, at least one of the biggest things to me, is that Jon Favreau's new series, the one that's going to be exclusively on like that Disney streaming channel, we've got some new updates on it, and it is going to take place. This is all from Favreau's mouth himself. So
he was interviewed at the Solo A Star Wars Story premiere.
Yeah, carpet. So the official news is that it's going to take place 7 years after the events of Episode 6, and we'll have all new characters. Like, that's pretty much what he said. And
also, half of the script's already done for the season.
For the first season, like, half of it's done, which is really exciting to me, because like that just lets me know that it's out there. That it's out there, and that they're going forward with it rather quickly, in my opinion.
They could actually start shooting. A lot of shows do that.
Yeah, you could,
where they shoot and write at the same time the
rest
next
of
half.
it. But I do think that, like, but the good thing, though, that we're not hearing about them like going into production or anything, is that they're mapping it out. They're planning out the story, which is something that some people have made a comment on about the movies. I genuinely think that this series will have none of that. It will be just as planned out, in my opinion, as Game of Thrones is. So we don't have anything to worry about there, and that's the good thing about having someone like Jon Favreau, and having him not like directing every episode, but it seems like he's going to be writing most of the episodes, and he's overseeing the entire thing, which is crazy because dude's got to be working on Lion King, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I guess, right?
He's got time.
Yeah, they must be like shooting it soon, and then but like how much can you shoot, you know?
Right.
So they got to be doing like a bunch of CG work, and he can't really do that. He can like give them insights of like, okay, I want the character to feel like this, or look like this, or have this kind of facial expression. But that's good. That's good. Like, I thought this would be something we'd get in 2019, but it looks like they might launch this with their streaming service, which would be amazing to see in 2019, because then we could get potentially this in the same year as Episode 9. But what do you think about that timeline? 7 years after Episode 6.
Sounds good. I mean, it's not quite halfway to Episode 4.
Right. There's some like 20 years in between, right?
Yeah, because Luke is like 19 and Leia's about 19 as well. I mean, obviously they're the same
Right.
age, but
Few minutes.
I'm pretty sure they're about 19 years old when episode 4 comes, so 7 years. Yeah, I like the timeline. I want to know where it's going to be placed, what kind of story. Yeah, there's just like so many unknown variables, so.
They're, in my opinion, like, I know they say all new characters, and I know that that all of our main characters are going to be all new characters, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's just a given, because you don't really want to touch the OG. But at the same time...
Oh, wait. It's 7 years after episode 6.
Right.
Oh, so I was talking about episode 4, so that doesn't even matter.
Yeah. After episode 6. So Ben will be like 6.
Then we're into
5 or 6
sequel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm sure they'll figure out some stuff.
Oh yeah, and this, in my opinion, this is this is really, really good for them, because you can have, you know, new characters. You probably will have some like very beginnings of the First Order. At least, like, who's going to be the villain. If the villain is not the First Order, I would be totally fine with that.
Because I wouldn't want that.
I would be totally fine with that. But I do feel like, just like in Rebels, I feel like you're missing an opportunity to introduce midlife Luke, maybe a midlife Han, a midlife... Look, Rebels did it, and we're going... I guarantee you guys, with the release of Solo... Everything that has been said has been Donald Glover's really good as Lando, Alden Ehrenreich is really good as Han, and so if people, this is the thing that I got, if people accept it, because we're gonna know within weeks, if people accept Alden as Han, they could do it. They could introduce young Luke, and honestly, in my opinion, it's harder to make someone else be Han Solo than it is for someone else to be Luke, because of the charisma and everything.
But Alden doesn't. He's not midlife.
No. I'm saying, but like this would give them that good opportunity, and this is their test to see if people. This is a huge risk to see if people will accept Alden as this midlife character. So I think
no. As a younger
as the same character as someone we've already seen.
Okay, but no, I don't want to see any.
Really, that would be so amazing if it's just like a cameo, like one episode.
No.
Why not? I feel like you're severely missing a great opportunity.
No, I think those characters, as much as I want to see them more and more and more and more, I don't want them to be cheapened by this.
By this?
Like,
what? It's just because it's a TV show, it's not good anymore? They did it in Rebels.
It's because, I don't know what the production is like.
The production is going to be huge. This is going to be like Game of Thrones, like
but I want
millions of dollars of episode.
I want it to be smaller.
Millions of dollars per episode. This thing's going to be huge.
I don't want them to be like, ooh, look, there's Leia in the background.
Yeah, but your smaller thing, I think that's where Star Wars Resistance, that's going to be your smaller story, in my opinion, the Dave Filoni thing.
This can be big, but in a different way. I just want it to be like, I don't know, some like crime lord and then, in the undergrounds of Coruscant or something. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see our big characters in there. Not only because I don't, there's only... I would like Luke to get his own movie. I don't want him in a TV show.
I would just want him anywhere. That's the thing.
No.
Like, we haven't even got him in a book. We did get the Legends of Luke Skywalker, but that all might be fake and not real.
Yeah, but no, I don't want him in.
Okay, another thing. What do you think it's possible that they introduce Thrawn?
No, they can't.
Because he went away? Yeah, they can. He's still out there.
Well, I guess they could.
He
But
went away.
no, I don't want.
Really?
I don't
Oh,
really want to see that.
I do understand. Like,
because they say a cast of new characters, so I don't think it'll.
I
He's not new.
But I think they're talking about the main characters. I think they're talking about the heroes.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
I think they're talking about the good guys when he means the cast of new characters. And they're like, look, this is speculation, you guys. So they're probably not going to do anything that we talk about. We're probably way off base somewhere. But I do feel like with Solo coming out, this is a great test to see if people will accept a younger version of the older people, of the older characters that we know. And so there is opportunity to tell those stories.
Yeah.
And I do think then Thrawn is still out there. They definitely are saving Thrawn for something.
Yeah. I'd be fine if he were in it, because he was already in an animation. It's not like he's a top character, as in like he's no Luke Skywalker,
right?
You know. So if he shows up in this, that's fine. Well, I know you.
I love Thrawn.
You love Thrawn.
I think that Thrawn would actually benefit from being in a TV show more than in a movie.
I just think that it would be. I'd be fine if he came in this, but I don't expect him to.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a lot of crossover like stuff.
Which maybe they should.
Well, yeah.
Maybe they should. Maybe
no, not maybe. They should.
But yeah, of course.
It's just the way that they work. So but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I like the time.
Yeah.
I feel like you could really pull on a nice story there.
Yes. With midlife Luke. I'm telling you, Sebastian Stan is open. He's open.
Well, I would love him as Luke.
Yes,
I'm sure I would.
And he would do such a good job, dude. Take nothing away from like anything in the superhero. Dude has been in good movies where he like shows that he can act.
Yeah.
And
he was on Once Upon a Time. But then
he was in I, Tonya, which everybody says that he's pretty good in it.
When he left that show, I stopped watching because it got boring.
Right.
Anyway,
I think that's a really good.
I wouldn't mind him, but I would want him to get his own movie.
That time period is really juicy because you can get the start of the First Order if you want to go that way. If you don't want to go that way, you can get some different things with what's the Republic doing? Like it can, because it's crazy. You got to build up this new government, and that can be difficult. You know.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I don't think we're gonna get any cameos from anyone big, unless it's like, you know, a season finale, like Sabine walks in or Hera walks in.
Oh no, they wouldn't do that.
So I think if they're gonna do any kind of cameos or anything, it's gonna be like a smaller like kind of thing.
Yeah, they could
maybe
do
Ahsoka. Probably not Ahsoka.
No.
But even though Jon Favreau and Filoni,
Dave Filoni been talking.
They're friends.
They've been talking. I'm guarantee you they've been talking. Anyway, let's move on to our Obi-Wan rumors.
Obi-Wan.
We've got some rumors that Obi-Wan is greenlit and that they are in pre-production, and that it's supposed to begin shooting in spring of 2019. We don't know. Like, there's no rumor about a director or anything. That's the rumor, that it's greenlit and it's in pre-production.
There was a rumor, but I can't remember who it was.
Right.
It was like.
But they might have changed it.
Yeah, definitely, probably. I'm really excited. I've wanted this from day one.
Yeah.
Of, like, everything.
Day one of Disney owning Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. With Solo, and plus they're you gotta get Ewan back. Like, dude wants to be back too, so they're gonna get him back.
And he's in such a
perfect age.
Perfect place to play, and he's a great actor. So.
Great actor, yeah. He's done well for himself. I think that they're gonna wait until Solo comes out to announce that. I mean, not gonna wait till Solo. They're obviously gonna wait till Solo comes out to announce it, but I think they're gonna wait until they find out that Solo is gonna be a big hit at the box office, but also it seems like the critics are enjoying it. The ones that have been to the premiere, they're short things of that is fun. So I think they're gonna wait for that. They might wait for Solo to die down a little bit, and then we will get the announcement of an Obi-Wan movie, starting production and everything. And I think it's a good move for them. I think it's a good move. It's not exactly the movie that I wanted. And I don't want a trilogy.
No.
I don't want a trilogy.
Just the one.
I think just one would be fine because I don't think that this is the Benioff and Weiss thing. Like, I just genuinely don't. Like, I don't think it's them, and it's probably not the Rian Johnson thing. I think this is just another, like, of the standalone, anthology movies, just like Rogue One and Solo, where it's like, this is just to hold you over until the next big one.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, like, who's the villain? Is it gonna be Vader?
Himself.
Obi-Wan.
No,
I
would like it to be like a.
It's like bipolar.
We've already talked.
He's like the monster in Split, the dude in Split.
No, I mean Tatooine is not like a safe place.
No, of
for
course
anybody.
not. There are huts, definitely.
Yeah, and in the comics there are several stories
Boba
where.
Fett.
No, there are several stories where he has to like protect Luke in like a very like, oh, I'm using the Force. No, what? I'm doing nothing. So like, I think there's a great opportunity there for a very Logan-esque, that kind of feel of Logan, not necessarily the story, because that has nothing to do with that. But yeah, you could just kind of make something where, Uncle Owen is whatever, and he has to go make sure Luke doesn't get hurt.
Whatever, like, he's drunk?
No,
he's just, go off, Luke, go out of here.
Uncle Owen has...
kicks him out of the house.
has left or something, and not for good or anything.
No, I know that, but, like, I don't understand.
He's just gone to the city or something, and something happens, and Obi-Wan has to, like, help Luke out,
Yeah.
Without Luke knowing.
This is something that Lucasfilm so far has done well, where it's everything that they tend to put out, well, not everything, but like the big things that they put out, whether it's the TV series or a movie, everything that they have put out so far has had a good story.
Yeah.
Whether or not you enjoyed it or whatever, that's all preference, so it's like they can't help that, but everything that they have put out, every movie and every TV series that since Disney has gotten it, has been a good story. So I have total faith in them that they could do an Obi-Wan with a good story and obviously good acting.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I do feel like that is the movie where you go with the bounty hunters as the villains.
Why?
I just don't think that Vader should be your villain. Because one, if Vader goes back to Tatooine and has a fight with Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan, like, somehow gets away, why does Vader not just go back again? Also, like, if Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine and go fights Vader, then, how are you going to fight Vader? Like, dude's always on some big old ship. Like, you're not going to infiltrate like he did on the Death Star.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't go there to confront Vader. And actually, he did go there to confront Vader, but that wasn't his main purpose.
Sure.
He was sucked in by the tractor beam. That was the only reason he went out there to...
Right. No, I've never thought that Vader should be his villain. I think it should be a smaller story that's, like, very confined in the desert, dirty, kind of, like...
I think you could
just
still
surviving kind of story.
I think you could do the bounty hunters, much like in Logan, how your main villains are just kind of jobbers. You have the dude with the hand, yes, there was a clone, but you don't have to do something like that. You can have your villains be bounty hunters who are going after this guy. Maybe Obi-Wan did something to one of Jabba's peeps who was trying to mess up with Okaloan and Emperor or something.
Which he does in the comics.
Yeah, exactly. And then like Jabba's like, hey, find this guy. And we know he has a relationship with Boba Fett.
Yeah, there is a really, actually a pretty good story in the comics where it's like he sends Kirsten or a Wookiee after like whoever has done something to Uncle Owen or tried to do something. Mm-hmm. And Jabba sends a Wookiee and Obi-Wan obviously like
wins.
Yeah, but the Wookiee gets off and it's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could definitely do that. I think it would work.
I think that's fine. Just how you do it. And the way you make it very interesting is the fact that he can't use his Force abilities, you know? That's the part where it's like everybody, you know, like how everybody looks at a movie and they're like, well, why didn't he just use the Force? It's like because he can't, or else his secret would get out.
Sure.
That is where you make it interesting, where it's like he has to fight off these people. He has to, you know, defend Luke and Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru without the use of the Force, and see how this character has to deal with the fact that he has this power, yet he is literally powerless because he can't use it. Mm-hmm. It would be very interesting to see that. Anything else on this topic?
No, I'm excited for it. And that's about it.
I would like to know who the director is. That's one thing I would like to know before I thumbs up, you know.
Sure.
Okay. Moving on to Thrawn issue number 4. As you can hear, I got it with me. You read it right after me. On the cover is Thrawn with Tarkin, which there's not a lot of Tarkin in here. It's just kind of like a nice cover.
Yeah.
It's all right. It doesn't really pertain to the story of this particular comic book. What did you think of this individual story?
I thought it was fine. It was pretty... I felt insignificant, but...
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. That's it? Just fine?
Yeah, just fine. It didn't blow me away. I didn't hate it.
Right.
It's just fine.
Alright, so the main story of this for the people out there is that Thrawn is sent to... settle a dispute between two people. One is alien, the other one is human, and they both have like shares of land, and apparently the humans are going over to the aliens' share and causing some trouble over there, and then the aliens did a little bit of retaliation, and so they called the Empire and was like, hey, figure this out. So they sent Thrawn. Thrawn has a meeting with the humans. Thrawn has a meeting with the aliens. And then Thrawn stays on the aliens' plot of land in the night, and then they find out that the humans are like getting spice from the aliens' part of the land, and so Thrawn is like, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, we see more progression of Eli Vanto in his
that's what I did like about
understanding of the way Thrawn thought, and his own progression towards maybe not getting to Thrawn, but in that direction of being more cerebral and reading people and things like that. Yeah,
there are a couple times where Thrawn is like, keep studying or watch their faces.
Right.
Like really telling him like certain things to do. And yeah, Eli does like when they're alone or something, or just walking down places, Thrawn says, so what did you get from that? Mm-hmm. And he'll tell him, and then Eli will sort of say, what did I get wrong? Oh, nothing. Or this. You know?
Right.
So there's that sort of back and forth, which is cool to watch.
In the actual book, there is quite a bit of that. There's quite a bit of that where Thrawn is like testing him almost. After a lot of the conversations that they have with other people when they're by themselves, going somewhere, walking, Thrawn will be like, hey, what did you think about that? Or when, especially in this one, when they're talking about the politics. how people think that, like, and it's kind of true that Thrawn doesn't understand the politics of the Empire and everything within that. That's kind of where he, in the book at least, he gets some help from Eli Vanto, how it's like, hey, what are they talking about? Like, what do they mean by this? What do you think? And that's something that's really cool, because it's like you have this character in Thrawn who's super, super intelligent and can figure out almost anything, but when it comes to politics, he needs some help. And that's a good thing, because it's not just like Eli Vanto. He's always just like wide-eyed and like, what? This guy is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
He actually gets something to do.
Yes.
Which is really cool to me. We see the beginnings of the Dunium, not the beginnings of the Dunium, but we see the kind of more progression of them starting to see that Dunium is kind of important to the Empire, and that comes in because they're using Dunium, which is a metal in Star Wars, to build the Death Star. And so that's what we're building to. We see Thrawn get promoted to Admiral.
Yeah, that was where Tarkin comes in, and he kind of like gives them medals or whatever.
Congratulates them.
Their little pins, I guess.
Plaques or something like that.
Yeah.
Their rank
but
insignia.
when they say we're pleasured or whatever to give you this new rank, they call him Commodore, but then in a couple pages later they're like, what do you think about this, Admiral Thrawn?
I think, yeah, he got promoted
like,
to Commodore in that one where Tarkin talks to him, and then there was like a couple panels. Let me see if I can find them right.
Later, it's like a
There's a
page.
couple panels here later on where, like this one right here, it's really, really pretty, where he becomes the captain of the Star Destroyer Chimera. It's a really, really good page.
Yeah, the
that
art's
has
great.
it's where it has Darth Sidious's hooded eyes up in the top. You have the Chimera. You have apparently the Chimera's symbol on there.
In this, they kind of like jump from
Right.
whatever he was before to Commodore to Admiral.
Yeah, I think this is just like a panel to show you that a lot of time has passed, and then you have him getting ranked up here in the bottom right. Yeah, that picture right there.
That has a lot of stuff to look at.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's really pretty. Like, that's beautiful. Like, the stars behind in the background. It's a really, really well drawn, and the art is really good in this.
Don't know who did it.
Yeah, let me see.
You can check.
The cover artist is Paul Renaud. Looks like the color.
The artist is
Luke Ross. Luke Ross does a really good job, you guys. And he has done for all four issues, in my opinion.
I guess we have 2 more left. Is it a 6th issue?
I
believe it's a 6th issue.
I think it's six or 8, but we do get the first mention in this book of the Night Swan. That is kind of, in the book, he's the main villain of Thrawn, or the main antagonist of Thrawn, where this guy is very smart himself, and he's just happens to be on the opposite side of Thrawn. So yeah, we
also get a little bit of Governor Price.
Just a bit.
She's governor now.
She's governor now. Yeah, Tarkin made that happen, of Lothal.
Yes.
There's still some animosity between the other human admirals and Admiral Thrawn now. We still see that kind of racism towards him, which, you know.
Yeah, or speciesism. I don't know.
I guess you just call him racism. Yeah. We still get that. It's really cool to see. Honestly, like I said before, Thrawn is one of my favorite characters. Was there anything that really stood out to you as far as what he did? How he like destroyed their crops so that the people wouldn't come back for more spice? That was really, and when I heard that when I read that in the book, I was like, wow, okay, so he just like deleted or he ended the whole reason for their confrontation in between the two settlements.
I mean, as far as the story goes, I guess I really like Eli, but most of my attention was on like the very end, the last page, when they say next, they show like, I guess it probably won't be the cover for the next one. Well, it might be, but they show a picture for the next issue.
I think I remember seeing this on issue number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the next issue cover, and they have a guy who kind of looks similar to Han Solo.
Yeah.
A little more flat hair, I guess.
That might be Night Swan. We do get like a silhouette of him over here. We do get this silhouette of him right here. So it could be him.
Sure.
You never know.
So that was sort of like, it just looked familiar because it looked kind of like Han.
Yeah,
same
of course.
Sort of like
jacket, white shirt. He has 2 blasters though.
Holsters. Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, but other than like Eli, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Going throughout the 4 issues, they don't talk a lot about Night Swan, so it does look like the last 2 issues will be that main conflict at the end of the book with Night Swan, which at the end there's a really good face-to-face confrontation between him and Night Swan that is so Thrawn and Night Swan is so cerebral and so intelligent. It's just really well crafted. Timothy Zahn does a really, really good job, and I think that they're doing a really good job adapting the book into this comic book. Anything left you have to say about any of our topics today?
No, I'm
all right.
happy with what I said.
Yeah. One thing I cannot wait to see Solo. Like, I'm getting super excited about it with everything that I see, every new little clip. Yeah, just super excited. Hopefully, yeah, we'll definitely go see it. I will go see it that opening weekend. So we will have a non-spoiler review on this show in 2 weeks, or is it 1 week? 2 weeks, I think. So yeah, definitely check that out. We will be here again next week with the Rule of 2, episode number 14. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell so you get notified every time we put up a new video. Mm-hmm. We thank you so much for listening to this one. And hey, there are 12 others. Go find those on the channel. There's a playlist. Yeah. May the Force be with you.
Always.